Welcome you guys, my name is typeForced and today we're going to have a beginner's guide starting tutorial for you for Albion Online. Albion Online is a currently closed beta game that just came out. It is an MMORPG. It has a lot of its ties from some of the older style games like UO or some of the feels from maybe RuneScape or some of the more like veteran kind of MMORPG feeling games, as well as a bunch of new age ties as well. The game is claimed to be fully cross-platformed, which means you can play it on your tablet, soon enough your phone, your laptops, your computers, your Macs, your Linux, your Windows, and it's gonna allow you to really access it almost all over. So it has kind of that maybe Clash of Clans feel to it, while still bringing it back to some older tie MMOs. As you can see, it's kind of a simple graphic-based game, so it doesn't take a lot to run. The download is very small comparatively to new games. I think mine was about 500 megabytes. The install is very quick and the load times are nice and quick, so you don't need an epic computer to run this. When you do get the game, you're going to start, and then once you log in, you'll have your character creation. You're just going to click character. I already have 2 characters as I've been playing. You're just going to click create character. You're going to choose your avatar, which can be changed down the road, so you can choose whatever you would like. I think she's pretty cute, and I think she looks... Wait, they look the same. I thought she was going to have earrings or something. Anyway, we'll choose the old wise men. Lots of knowledge. You could change your... There is customization. It's not the most insane, but there is customization. This is probably a better representation of me, completely pale. I don't have my hair on here, but... Wait. You could change your customizations. There's semi-basic, but you could still make your character your own. We definitely need to have a beard, though. Yeah, let's do this beard. Here we go, dudes. And then you're gonna name your character. I don't know. Zeus Forced. We'll just go with that. You name your character and then you're gonna create. Now this part is important. Once you create your character, if it is your first character from one of the founders packs, you guys are gonna have premium. This is gonna say premium. That only goes on your first character. Do not delete your first character, and if you create a second character, you will not have that premium. So just like I created a character, I don't have premium here. This premium will be lost if you delete your character. Do not delete your character, or you're gonna lose it. The first character you make will have your premium and all your goodies. Don't delete it. Here's a fair warning. But once you have it, you're just going to go ahead and enter world. The game loads, and you're going to start off somewhere in the world. So, we are, if we hit K, we can see our map. We are in the western beach. If you zoom out, you can kind of see the world and whatnot. That's not super important right now, but we started off on a dock. When you do start off, again, if you bought some of the higher founders pack, like the legendary one, if you go into your mail, it's going to have some messages with your, maybe your gear or your trophies or whatever. They're going to be in your inbox. The messages that you do have in there will have items with them. If you leave them in there, you cannot lose them. But the second you take them out and move them to your inventory, you do have a chance to lose them. So I would just leave them in there until you're ready to use them. Once you start off, there's not a ton of direction of what to do. You can just start moving around and whatnot, but with a little bit of the couple tips that hopefully you'll be able to get in this video, you'll kind of figure out the feel of the game, the motion and the direction of the game, and what to do. At the very bottom, you're going to see this. This is like the only real direction you're going to have. And it says beginner would gather 3 rough logs. So this can be kind of used as, at least right now, your quest book that you go through. Where do you get this information? You're going to actually get this from your Destiny board. Now, in this game, there is no classes. As you saw when we created our guy, when we created typeForced over here, we had no classes. It didn't say, do you want to be a wizard, or do you want to be a mage, or do you want to be a warrior? It didn't say anything about races. It didn't say anything about bonuses, because every character is only cosmetically changed. After that, they're always the same. The character themselves do not change in any aspect. You see I have 1,000 health and 100 energy. I'm going to always have that. If I spend 5 hours or 5,000 hours, once you take off all your gear in game, you're going to have the same stats. That's because this game does not have anything tied to a class or a race or a bonus or anything like that. It's all tied to your gear. We don't have any gear right now, so we're not worrying about that just yet, but whatever the gear you wear will be what you are. So you can not worry about, am I going to be a mage or a tank till down the road. You don't have to make that decision yet, and you won't ever be pigeonholed into one or another. But on your Destiny board, if you do go to it, it is this icon down at the bottom. You could go ahead and click Destiny board. You're going to want to zoom all the way out, and you're going to want to scroll all the way down. You actually start right here. This is your very first thing. If you click on it, it says beginning would gather, and your requirements are gather 3 rough logs. You do also get a reward for every quest or everything that you do unlock. And our reward is going to be a fame bonus of +10. So to gather logs, rough logs specifically, it's pretty easy. You just walk up to a tree and click on them. And we now just gathered 1 out of 3 logs. So we'll just quickly gather our next couple logs here. And there we go. Proficiency gained. Beginners would gather. We just got our bonus of +10 fame. So if we go back down to the Destiny board, we'll see that this one is now mastered. We have now mastered this quest, and our bars continue to the next one. Where again, requirements, gather 3 stone, fame +10. So we're just gonna go gather some rough stone. Again, just simply by clicking on it. And there we go. Beginner stone gather has been completed. And a fame bonus again. Down here, this also is updating with us, so you can kind of use this as a quick tip. Or if you're more visual, you can go see how we've completed from here to here, and now we're working on this one. You must craft 1 beginner's skinner knife. So we got to craft something now. If you hit M, it's going to bring you into a map of the tile that you're currently on. So if you hit M, you'll be able to see anything that is in the area. These little squares will be any workstations or anything that you could really visit and interact with. So you can click on them and they'll tell you it's a T1 workbench. Let's go over there and visit the T1 workbench. One tip in this game is if you click and hold down the cursor and move it around, it'll move your guy with you. You don't have to continuously click all the time. So from this T1 workbench, once we got here, you could see that we're there. We go in and talk to either the dude or the anvil, but you need this little, this 3 cog thing to pop up. Once these gears pop up, you can talk to him. On the side, it's going to show you the different tabs that he can craft, or the different tabs that he has to offer, as well as anything in the middle. So under weapons, he can make a beginner's sword and shield. Armor, he can make medium armor. And tools, he can make some tools. So our quest is for a beginner's skinner knife. So we'll go to the skinner knife. If you click resources, it'll show you the resources that you need. And it looks like the green bar is full, and we do actually have the right amount of resources, 3 of each. We go ahead and click craft. And there we go. Beginner toolmaker has now been completed. And we've got our fame bonus as well. Down below, our quest has updated. But again, if we go back to the board, you'll see we can click on it. And our new requirements is to kill 1 rabbit. So we do see a rabbit over here. We're going to go and put this rabbit out of its misery. We're now a beginner hunter. And again, fame bonus. Our quest is updated to beginner skinner. Gather 8 rabbit hides. So now that we do have this tool, this skinning knife, we can now skin animals. So let's start skinning some rabbits. Alright, there's 3. When you are in game, you can zoom in if you want to. There is unfortunately no way to turn the camera around, so sometimes maybe zooming in might help a little bit on what you're doing. Alright, I think that's probably 6, 7, 8, 1 for good fortune, beginner skinning, proficiency gained. Fame plus 10. Down at the bottom, it did update to beginning armor. You must craft 1 medium beginner's leather armor. And again, go back to the board and click it, and it'll tell you and what the reward is. So this is the basis of how to complete and how to work on the Destiny board. Let's go ahead and go to armors. We wanted medium beginner's leather armor. Again, we can click resources and see that it's going to take 8 rabbit hide. And we will go ahead and craft that. Now, when we go to craft it, it says you haven't defined any spell slots. Please choose 1 or more spell for every slot. So what does that mean? Well, like I said earlier, your character doesn't say, I'm a mage. Your gear says, I'm a mage. So with this gear, we get to choose the spells. This armor has 2 slots. And if you ever click on spells, you'll see the different types. On the first spell, it has mend wounds. As long as you are not in combat, you can use this spell to mend wounds and heal 5% of your health per second for 10 seconds. Down at the bottom, it actually is giving us a choice. If you click it and hold it down, it's going to open up with all your choices. This is where you start saying what you want to be. This armor can have you increase move speed by 5%, increase resistance to movement and parrying effects by 10, or 20% increase CC duration. Well, we don't really have too much to worry about these right now, but hey, being 5% faster is pretty cool, so let's set that and craft it. And now we have beginning armor proficiency gained, as well as our bonus fame. At the bottom, we now have a new thing. You must craft 1 beginner's broadsword. Alright, next one. Once you did craft it, it automatically puts it on. And if you notice, once I put this armor on, I now have a new spell. I have mend wounds. And as you put on more gear, your spells are going to appear on the right side of your screen. So that when you are out of combat, you can either click the spell, if you're on a tablet, or if you just like to be a clicker, or you can hit the hotkey, R. And once you start doing that, you'll start casting your spell. As you can see, I'm healing for 63 every second. Also, there are stats on the armor that are going to give you bonuses. Every armor type has different bonuses. Medium armor is going to give you 25% physical and magical damage, as well as some CC durations and bonuses and threat bonuses. Light armor is going to give you a lot more attack bonuses, up to 60%, and heavy armor is going to give you more resistances. So you can kind of say, I want to be a tank version, I want to be tankier, I want to do more damage, or maybe I want to have some maneuverability bonuses, and pick your armor that way. But our next Destiny board item is this one, and that is to craft 1 beginner's broadsword. So we do know that we saw that here. Let's go ahead and try to craft it. Beginner's broadsword, craft. You don't have enough resources. Please check the crafting requirements for more details. So again, under resources, it'll tell you what you need. And it looks like we need 6 rough stone and 6 rough logs, and we just didn't have that. You could see we had 1 out of 6 and the bar is low, and 0 out of 6, the bar is not there at all. You need the bar to be completely full and green to be able to craft something. So we'll go ahead and harvest some rough stone. Now, as we harvest this, you're going to see a bar pop up. The bar is going to tell you how much resources that item has. So when I first click on this rock, it is 4 out of 4, and you can see the bar is fully green with yellow at the end. Every time you harvest 1, the bar goes down till it's 0 out of 0 and the resource depletes. So that'll let you know how much resources are actually in the item that you're harvesting. And it'll give you an idea of how much you can get from it. It looks like we probably got our rough stone. Let's go ahead and get some logs. You can see again 2 out of 2, and now it goes to 1 out of 2. And then 0 out of 2. Later on, these numbers will climb quite high, and you'll be able to see the benefits out of finding nodes that have fuller resources in them. The nodes respawn over time, And when they respawn, they're going to respawn with generally 3 out of 15 resources, and they're going to climb resources the longer they're not hit. So the more that they are not harvested, the higher yields that they will have. Alright, let's see if we have enough now. Beginner's Broadsword. Again, like the armor, you do have spells. And this Beginner's Broadsword has only one spell. It has Heroic Strike, deal 95 physical damage, so we don't really have to choose. But it looks like if we go to resources, the bars are full green, we are ready to craft. And now our proficiency has been gained. We've completed yet another task. Currently, we do have a skinning knife up here. Your tools do not have to be equipped. Your weapons should be equipped at all times. Your tools do not. They can stay actually in your inventory at all times. All right, now we have a broadsword on. Once we put it on, we have another spell. You could either click it or hit Q. But if you hit Q and then click on your target, you will now do your new strike, and you will have killed it. Again, with our broadsword still equipped and our skinning knife in our inventory, we can go and skin it. It automatically pulls the skinning knife out, as you can see it changing. Let's go do this again. We'll kill a rabbit. Poor rabbit. I'm sorry, little dude. And then we'll skin it. We have a broadsword in our hand. Immediately goes to our skinner. That's one really nice feature of the game. So you can just keep your tools in your inventory. We do have another quest to do, and that is to craft 1 beginner's pickaxe. Let's go. That is another tool. So let's go to the tools and go to beginner's pickaxe. We can see that we have the stone needed, but we do not have the rough logs. So let's go head over and get some more rough logs. Tools, beginner's pickaxe. Resources, we now have them, and we can craft. Now we have gained proficiency Novice Adventurer. And we've earned fame bonus of +10. Okay. Now we have also earned novice items are craftable. We've gained proficiency as a trainee craftsman. And novice equipment is now craftable. And we are a proficient farmer. And we have novice farming items. We have so many freaking rewards popping up right now. So basically what happened is we completed this quest. It is mastered now. And it gave us all these other offshoots. Now, this is where you start to decide where you go in the game. This is where you decide, I want to be a crafter. I want to be a harvester. I want to be a farmer. I want to be a killer, an explorer. I want to be a PvE fighter. In a more specific category, I want to be tankier or a standard tank. I want to be a caster with heavy armor. This is where you start to decide all of that. This is the Destiny board. This is the most probably complex part of the game, but this is probably the most interesting part of the game as well. Based on what you do is what dictates how good you are in each area. So as you can see, we did complete this quest and we branched off to the right. If we do click this, it says trainee craftsman. We do have it mastered, so it is done. If you look under the rewards on this one, we see the checkbox of novice equipment craftable. If we go ahead and click the little question mark, it is going to tell us that we can now craft all of this equipment. So what do we have here? We have a bunch of weapons and armors, and we have some bags and capes and some bows and some, I don't know, a little bit of everything. We can now craft all of this. Let's see what else. Over here, if we click this one, it is mastered as well. It says novice farming items usable. If we click that, we can now use these farming items if we wanted to do that. Now you're gonna see this line. It's like, this is the in progress line. This is, you can work on this, but you haven't mastered it yet. So if we go ahead and click on this, it's gonna tell us the requirement. Gather tier 2 resources worth 2,400 fame. Now once we do that, it's gonna give us the reward, novice tools usable. So if we hit that, it's gonna say that we can use these once we complete this quest. Down at the bottom, it's going to give you a fame bar, 0 out of 2,400. Now, it does say tier 2 resources, and if we look at the stone that we have, we're going to see this 1 at the top. This is a tier 1 resource. So if we go and harvest some more of this resource, it's not going to do anything for us. As you can see right here, T1, this regular stone, we're getting rough stone. We go back to the destiny board and we click on the harvesting one. We're still at a 0 out of 2,400. So we have to harvest the right type of resource. It needs to be tier 2. So let's go and try to find some tier 2 resources. That's one key thing you need to look at on the destiny board. It's going to give you specific requirements. Using X tier, harvest X tier. So this is something that you're going to really need to keep an eye on. Let's go over here. We should maybe make the rest of our tools so we can harvest some materials. We have 2 tools. Let's go make some more tools. So we're in a bigger city now. If you hit M, you're going to see a chest in the middle, and then you're going to see a bunch of crafting stations. This is your standard tool making station. So let's go ahead and go over to the standard tool making station. We're going to see this homie and we're going to talk to him. And he's going to allow you to make tools, accessories, and furniture. So we'll go to the tools. It looks like we have the pickaxe. We need an axe. We'll craft this. Oh, we need more tier 1 wood. So let's go get some more tier 1 wood. Gather the rough logs. Every time you do gather something, it's going to show it above your head that you have gathered it. Now I'm going to give you guys all a tip. All the tools require logs and stone. So we'll just gather a little bit extra. And simply just by clicking on them, it's going to gather them. Rough stone. Rough stone. Alright, let's go see what we can craft now. We did want that beginner's axe, and crafted. Click on tools again. Beginner's stone hammer. Craft. Click on tools again. Beginner's sickle. Craft. Alright, so now we have, if I get out of the way, we have 5 tools. We have the axe, the pickaxe, the skinning knife, the stone hammer, and the sickle. Now these are going to be all of your standard tools. There is one more tool, which is the demolition hammer. You don't need this unless you're actually building into a home. But these are your 5 standard tools. With these tools, you'll be able to harvest the basic materials. So if we go over here to this little tree, this little bush, this is cotton. Now if we start harvesting cotton, you're going to see what I was talking about earlier. It pops up at the total of 15 different items here. Capable, but we only had 4 out of 15. If we click it again, we'll notice that when it was 4 out of 15, we got 1 item. And when it's 3 out of 15, we got all 3. That's the way it works. As it counts down from 15 to 3, you're going to get 1 item per harvest. And then once it's at 3, you're going to get all 3. It's a nice little way to quickly harvest ones that are not full. Now, when we did harvest this, not only do you notice the item, the number, but we do notice that this is a tier 2 cotton. You can see right here the 2. And once it's finished harvesting, you're going to see fame and cotton rising above our head. So as our quest says, harvest tier 2 materials worth so much fame. You can see that fame that's going above our head is going to end up counting in the destiny board. If we go back to our tools, which the ones we're working on, is going to count here. Gather T2 resources worth 2,400 fame. We're now at 150 fame out of 2,400. Closing in on our novice tools of reward. So once we harvest enough tier 2 fame worth of tier 2 resources, we can then unlock tier 2 tools. That is how the game works, is it's going to slowly progress you, and based on what you do, it's going to give you the next tier. Now, you don't ever have to harvest in this game. Most people harvest to a basic level, and some people harvest to a very extreme level, but you don't have to do it. If you have a guild or friends, or you go and figure out another way to get your materials, you may never have to harvest. Now, like I said, most people do the basic harvesting because it's pretty simple, and it goes ahead and shows you some parts of the game. So this is our cotton that we're getting. we're also going to be able to go out and harvest other things now. So let's go over here. And we're going to go just outside this. We're going to run just outside this town, and we're going to see if we can harvest a tier 2 tree. So we do know these trees are glitched, Kappa. These trees are tier 1, as you can see. We're going to go look around and see if we could find a tier 2 tree. Now, we do know that's a tier 1 tree. Here's your birch tree. This is our tier 2 tree. There's our 2-tier logs. So now that we have the tier 1 tool, we can harvest the tier 2 resources. And you could go around and just harvest these trees as much as you would like. And gather all the materials. They will be put immediately into your backpack. Here they are. And again, go back to the Destiny board, and you will see that this number is now still climbing. Now, once you reach this number, it's going to master it just like we mastered all the other things, and it's going to give you the reward, the ability to use tier 2 tools. After you have learned this, it's going to open up the ability to level up all of these individual lines. As you can see by this, we're able to do this, but if we click down here, we're not here yet. This is locked. We cannot do this. Once we do unlock this one will become unlocked. And then we can work on this. This is starting to now get into very defined specifics. This one just says T2 resources, but this one is going to tell you gather birch logs or chestnut logs worth 14,400 fame. This is not only T2 or T3 resources. This is specifically logs because this is the lumberjack area. You do have the stone area for the quarrier. You have the ore miners, pickaxe area, the skinner, and the fiber harvester. So if you wanted to do higher levels of materials from harvesting, you would need to work these up. As you can see, once you gather 14,400 fame worth of fox hide or wolf hide, you will get the journeyman's skinning knife, which is now tier 3. The journeyman's skinning knife is going to allow you to harvest higher tier animals, as well as faster harvest lower tier animals. Now, once you complete this one, tier 2 out of 10 is going to unlock. And tier 2 out of 10 is going to tell you gather wolf hide, boar hide, rare boar hide, or uncommon boar hide worth 38,000 fame. Once you do that, it's going to give you the reward of a journeyman's skinning knife plus 1 gathering yield. So you get to still use your journeyman's skinning knife, but you get some gathering yield from it. One thing to note about this game is because there is so much that you can do and learn, it's going to give you the option to use learning points. So on tier 1, there is no option for learning points. You only have one requirement. But on tier 2, at least on this specific one, you now see 2 requirements. So once you've gathered 38,880 fame, you have the chance to finish either by spending 20 learning points or gather another 116,000 fame. So down at the bottom, we have 155,000 fame as the total. We can gather up to 38,000, which is this red bar, and then spend 20 learning points, or we can gather all the way to 155,000. Both of them will allow the mastery to work. Learning points obviously is going to be a lot faster. At the top, you'll see how much learning points you have. If you click the question mark, it says learning points are used to speed up unlocking of abilities on the Destiny board. Additional learning points are generated over time while premium is active on your character. Now, this character doesn't have premium because I made an additional character. But if your character does have premium, which is why it's important not to delete it to keep premium, you're going to get 20 of these points a day. So if I did learn this, I would regain the points that I learned in one day. These are very good to use on things you want to quickly scale in, as you're able to learn this at 38,000 fame instead of 155, you'll be able to go on to the next tier. And when you gather things, it'll start working on the next tier instead of filling up this bar. Learning points are going to advance you very quickly. So we can say, hey, I want to be a harvester. We can go up to the crafting, as you saw that the crafting is going to open up all this tier 2 gear, we can then separate out with all these bars saying, well, we can go down here and we can now craft, or we can work on crafting tier 3 tools. If we craft novice tools worth novice tools or accessories worth 4,000 fame, it'll unlock the ability to craft journeyman tools. If we go to here, this is our refiner. If we refine resources tier 2 or worth 4,000 fame, we can go and refine tier 3 resources. If we go to the mage's tower crafter, we can craft novice mage gear worth 4,000 fame, and then we can make tier 3 mage gear. Rude. That's crunk cake, you damn fool. That is how the crafting is gonna work. Let's move over here. That is how the crafting is gonna work. Now, on the left side, you're going to see the fighter. It does say kill creatures worth 750 fame. Once we do that, we're gonna be able to use the tier 2. Now, this is using. The other side is crafting. So even if you max out all of this, just because you could craft it doesn't mean you can wear it. Wearing it, you have to unlock on this side. So right now, before we can even use anything tier 2, we have to kill creatures worth 750 fame. So if we go wandering around out here in the wilderness, we might find some creatures. Okay, this wolf. This wolf is tier 2. You can see once you click on it what tier it is, how much HP it has, and how much life it has. I'm going to go ahead and hit my Q, and it's going to start attacking it. And we're going to fight the fox, excuse me. It's a fox, not a wolf. Alright, 160 fame just appeared over my head. Now, I do have a skinner, and this is tier 2, and I'm able to skin this, so you can start skinning it, and you see how foxhide is being taken from it. Also, if we go to the Destiny board and we click on Trainee Fighter, you're now going to see 160 out of 750. We're just going to skin this really quick. We're going to go to the Destiny board, and we're going to go down to Trainee Gather, and you could see that our Trainee Gather has now gone up because we did skin tier 2 resources. So if you kind of unlock the basics of your gatherers and your fighters and your crafting, as you kind of just play, one will play into another potentially. I need to kill this to be proficient in tier 2 gear, but at the same time, if I harvest what I kill, I could then harvest higher ones later down the road. There's another 180 fame. I'm going to save you guys from harvesting it and go look over here. Now, I do see a rabbit, but if we click on the rabbit, he's only tier 1. We go back to our Destiny board and click on this. Creatures worth 750 fame. He didn't give us any fame. So he's not going to help us. Don't kill rabbits anymore. Rabbits are now basically useless. We need to find foxes. Here's another fox. Foxes are pretty easy to kill as they're tier 2. You can see I don't have much gear or anything. I just have the broadsword. I'm just using our strike that we have. And we're killing our foxes. 220 fame for that one. Now, you've seen 3 different foxes with 3 different fames. If you remember, the first fox I started skinning had somewhere between 5 or 6 hide on it. Let's skin this fox. This fox is at 11 hide. As a monster spawns in the game, he's going to spawn with 3, or a wildlife monster is going to spawn with 3 out of 15 resources. If you kill him the second he spawns, you're going to be able to get 3 resources from him. If it is not a wildlife monster and is an NPC monster, he's going to spawn with silver instead of something to skin. But it's going to be the same concept. 3 out of 15 silver worth, depending on how much silver it's worth. If you let it survive, just like the resources in the game, like the trees, for a long period of time and then kill it, it's going to have gained not only more resources to harvest from it, but more fame as well. So an animal or an NPC that has not been killed in a longer period of time will be worth more fame and thus more efficient to kill. So something to think about. If you just sit here and harvest this one area over and over and over, you're going to kill every respawn, but it's only going to be at a 3 out of 15 efficiency, whereas if you go and find new areas that haven't been explored and killed, you're going to get way more efficient kills. Now with that kill, we just went and unlocked our trainee. As you can see, if you click on it, we have now mastered it, 750 fame. That now allows us to use all of this. We cannot we can craft it because we did unlock it over here, that we can craft all this stuff. But now we could actually use the gear. Now from here, we're going to be able to say, hey, I want to be an archer, or I want to be a bow user with plate armor, or I want to be a cloth hood with a staff, but I do want to use medium boots with plate armor. You can mix and match however it goes. You just got to get it. From here, though, you can start tearing off, as you can see this line, into a more customized role. You can tear off into the heavy armor fighter, which is going to allow you to use tier 3 heavy armor. To get this, you need to kill creatures with 12,000 fame wearing a heavy novice plate armor. So as we saw back here, the one we just completed allows us to wear a heavy novice plate armor. If we craft this and we wear that and we kill creatures with 12,000 fame, we'll be able to unlock all the T3 heavy armor. Now that's going to go the same for T3 medium armor and the same for T3 light armor. The same concept with that is the weapons. Kill creatures with 12,000 fame using the novice broadsword, and the broadsword will unlock T3 warrior weapons, including these are all one hands, including a shield. If you go to the archer's role, kill them using a novice bow, you're going to unlock the T3 bow as well as the T3 spear, nature staff, and the offhand torch. And if you kill them with the novice fire staff, you're going to be able to unlock the 3 staffs that are available at T3 and the tome, which is the offhand. So as you work on one area and go out and explore and kill things, it's going to level it up to the next tier. But as you can see, no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to wear T3 armor without using a medium novice leather helm or leather armor first. So right now, I have a beginners. This is T1, not T2. So I can go kill fame all day and it's not going to do anything for me. Even though I have this leather armor on, it's not going to do a damn thing for me, unfortunately, because I don't have the T2 on. We need to go back and figure out how to get that. You have to upgrade your gear to be able to, when you wear it, to be able to learn points into the next tier. So if we hit M, we're going to find the tools maker, the stone refiner, the wood refiner, the leather refiner, the cloth refiner. We're also going to find these 3 buildings. This is the warrior's forge, the mage's tower, and the hunter's lodge. This is where you're going to craft all of your gear for those specific areas. Warrior's Forge is just what it sounds like. It uses the warrior's weapons and the plate armor to craft. The mages is going to use the staffs and the light armor, and the hunter is going to use bows, is going to craft bows and medium armor. So we're going to go to the hunter. We're going to go under armor. We're going to see that the tier 1 armor, we're going to go down to the tier 2 armor. So this is what we needed to use to be able to get to tier 3 armor. So if we do click on it, it says we actually need 16 stiff leather. Well, we don't have any stiff leather. So let's go over here to the tanner, and let's see if we can turn some of our stuff into stiff leather. We're going to turn some of our raw materials into refined materials. So down at the tanner. Oh, there's stiff leather. So you can craft stiff leather, and it looks like it needs foxhide. So we have tier 2 foxhide that we did get, and we're going to go ahead and start crafting this. Now, before we craft this, I do want to tell you what this little icon is. This little icon is your crafting focus. You get crafting focus every day, and you do get a bonus crafting focus with premium. Crafting focus is going to give you a better resource return rate. If we do turn it off, you could see my resource return rate went to 0. So if I craft, I don't know, 3 of these right now, I had 9. Well, with 0 resource return rate, it only took 2 to craft it. But if I turn this on and I get 10% back and I craft all 7, you'll see we should have some left over. We have 1 left over. So by turning this on, you're able to get more resources back after crafting, and then you can craft them again. Now we do have 11 stiff leather. We need to kill more foxes to get more stiff leather to make our armor. So someone's killed this recently soon. There's only 4 out of 15. If I try to steal his, it says protected from looting. So you do have a protection on your mobs. Someone can't come up and loot your mobs. He tried to kill steal us, boys. See if we could find any more foxes around. Yo, fox, where are ya? Alright, let's just go outside really quick. Alright, we do see a dead fox up here. Hey, I'm not against scavenging. It looks like no one wanted to skin it. Well, I'll take it. If you do find dead animals, as long as that protection period is up, you can go and skin them and take their resources if someone else didn't want them. I am not against that. So we're at 10 of this and 11 of that. We did need 16 for our chest piece, and I think we're going to need some for our boots and our helm too. So we're going to be at 25. Hopefully this is enough. Let's go and check. Let's go and check. Go back down to the tanner. Now, if you are clicking and holding the mouse, it's going to move you around. Also, if you hit M, it'll still move. As you can see, my little arrow is moving direction. So if you click, hold down, then hit M, you can move yourself to the right location pretty easily. Let's go ahead and refine some more stiff leather. We're now at 26 stiff leather. Let's go back up to, while holding down the mouse, hit M, go back up to the bow and arrow. Looks like it's this way. Oh, here we are. Go ahead and click on the little stool. Go to armor. We're going to go down to novice leather armor, and as we clicked it, we do see that we have two spells that we can use. We actually have multiple choices now. So with novice medium armor, we can either choose min wounds or fade out. Grants invisibility for 5 seconds and removes movement impairing effects, but also inflicts a 20% move speed penalty. You are going to have your cast time, which is instant, your energy cost, which is 9, your range only on yourself, and your cooldown 30 seconds. That sounds cool. Let's try that. And then, of course, your bottom movement speed, and then the 2 CC things. We want the movement speed. If we go to resources, it says, hey, we can craft it. It's full and green. Let's go ahead and craft. Go back to armors. Let's try to get our tier 2 novice leather hood. It looks like there's a spell on it. Unstoppable, makes you immune to crowd control. And we're going to see that we want movement speed again. Craft. And the boots. Oh, we're short. We're short by 3 stiff leather. So let's see if we can find another fox. Let's see if we can find another fox to kill to get some more leather. Hopefully someone has left one for me. I just need one fox, team. Yo, one fox. Oh, I see a fox, please. Oh, feels so good. Yo, feels good, man. Let's go ahead and take this fox hide. We will refine this fox hide. Now, as I am refining that fox hide, you see that fame that popped up over my head? If we go back to the Destiny board, and we go over here to the refiner, you see that we are working up our fame to be able to refine tier 3 materials. We're at 150 out of 4,000. So as you do one thing for one area, no kitty, I was gonna save her. As you do one thing for one area, you could see you're gathering from one. You got to kill it to gather it, and then you got to refine it to craft it, and then you have to do all of that to wear it. So it's kind of like a big loop of you being able to be at least self-sufficient to a small portion. That's the mage dude. We definitely need to not go to him because we're not being mage-like right now. Armor, we have the helm. Let's put that chest piece on. We need the boots now. Tier 2 boots. And now we have spells on the boots. We either have run, increase your move speed by 50% for 7 seconds. For 7 seconds. Good for traveling and gathering. It's a 20-second cooldown. Or we have flee, increased by 80%. And CC resist for 130 for 6 seconds. But you can't cast spells and all your damage is reduced. Well, let's take run. I don't want to reduce my damage. And I like the smaller cooldown too. And then at the bottom, move speed. The 2 CCs as well as maximum weight. So maybe if you're a gatherer, if you go out and gather a lot, you might want this. You might want to increase your overall weight load so you can go out and hold more when you come back. Let's go ahead and go to increase move speed and craft that. There we go. Now we have boots, armor, and helm all tier 2. Let's go to weapons. We want the bow. We need 32 refined birch planks. Now, we do have 9 birch planks. Let's go ahead and try to get the 32. And as you can see, we have no skills. We've got the grants invisibility. We just went invisible. We have the makes you immune to crowd control. So if we get stunned, we can pop that. And we have the flee. This one, a lot of people use to get around. They just go hit, you know, their F key and they start sprinting out around. It is pretty cool. Alright, here's some birch. Yo, this dude's gonna die, man. If you guys are wondering when we're crafting what CC is, on the boots, the different spells, when we showed the CC stands for crowd control. It is also the same movement and parrying effects. CC will be things like stuns, slows, snares, things that stop you from casting like silences. CC are things that control the crowd basically, and if you have CC reduction, that means someone's 5-second stun may only last 4 seconds. And if you have improving CC effects, that means that your 5-second stun may be 6 seconds. So in a game that'll later on be PvP ability, not being stunned for 5 seconds will help you out a lot. And that's a choice that you can choose. Also, mobs do stun you as well and silence you and things like that. So maybe that'll help you against them if you're having a hard time. I like to get places fast, so I put movement speed. You don't really have to, but that's what I do. We're just going around for birch logs. We're at 23. I think, did we need 32? Let's just be, better to be safe than sorry. Let's go out for 32 birch logs. Now, one thing to note. Here, let me get this big tree out of the way so we can see what we're doing. Yo, I said let me get this tree out of the way. How many trees are there here? Oh, let there be light. One thing to note is we're farming these big birch trees. Wow, this one's so full. Most people aren't farming this one. If you try to farm these little birch trees, you're just going to get rough logs. Until they become mature, they're not going to give you birch. You want to get the big ones. You got to go for the big ones, boys. We're at 32. We'll get a couple extra. We'll just harvest this whole tree. Alright, there we go. And now let's just go ahead and sprint home really quick. If we do hit M, we'll see on our map we want to go out this gate right here. That's the one we came in. M is going to show you the tile that you're on, but if you got lost or confused, hit K and it's going to show you the whole world. So if you hit K and look around, you should see this little tiny red dude with the red arrow. That's where you are currently. So I'm in the zone of Foxvale. You can see the roads and they're going to lead. This road is going to end up leading me back to Western Camp is where we came from. That's how you'll be able to see where you are and where each zone leads and how to get to each place. Alright, let's run back to the road where Western Camp is. Now we do know that we need to refine these from birch logs to birch planks. So again, hitting M, we're going to see the lumber mill down here. So we're going to go ahead and run all the way down to the lumber mill and get our refine on. All this is being done in Western Camp, which is one of the many starting cities. And this is where most people should be doing a lot of this to get used to the game. Perfectly fine to be doing this in this location. Alright, we'll talk to the lumber mill. And he's got birch planks, and we can do 37 of them. Let's go ahead and start crafting. As you can see, to refine these, we only need birch logs. Once you start upping the tier, you're going to start needing additional resources to refine and craft. But as of now, we only need birch logs, so that's really nice. We crafted 37. Hey, we have 4 left. Well, that's because this is on, and it gave us a return. We go ahead and craft those 4. Now we have some birch planks on us up here. Run back up to our hunter dude. And at our hunter dude, we can now craft our novice bow. So it didn't take us to the resource page because we actually have the resources. It took us to the spell page because we need to choose our spells. The bow has deadly shot, speed shot, and a choice of bodkin arrows or attack speed chance. So we can either get 10% chance to gain a small attack speed on hit, or increase the range of your auto attacks by 20%. I think that's cool. Let's increase the chance of our arrows and go ahead and craft the bow. Now there goes the bow. We put that on, and now our spells have changed. Instead of having the heroic strike, we have this. Now I kind of went your traditional archer medium armor with the bow, but you can just as well come to the mage dude and craft a novice staff for 16 planks and 8 copper bars. You can craft a novice fire staff and become a fire mage, or a fire mage in medium armor. You can mix and match any of these combinations. Again, you can have cloth robe hood, medium armor, and plate boots with a staff, one-handed staff and an offhand shield, or a two-handed sword, or a bow. You can switch anything you want. What resistances and what spells you want is what you should wear. As we do have 2-2 gear now, let's go ahead and go out here. Go back to our destiny board and say we do want to be this guy. Kill creatures worth 12,000 fame using medium novice leather armor. Alright, we have that on. Check. And we go to our bow. Kill creatures with 12,000 fame using a novice bow. Novice bow. Check. Novice medium armor. Check. If we don't have those on, you will not get fame for the next tier. Even though it looks like you're going to get fame for it, if you don't have them on, you will not get fame. Alright, let's read what these do. Aim at the enemy and deal 178 damage. Shoot a shot dealing 59 physical damage, increasing your move speed. So let's go ahead and do this shot. And you can shoot it back to back to back. And there we go, 120 fame. Go back to the destiny board. Check here. We're at 120 out of 12,000. Check here, 120 out of 12,000. If you go up to the staff, we're at 0 out of 12,000. Again, note, this is important. That's because we are not using a novice fire staff. We cannot get to the next tier, which is tier 3 of staffs, unless we use a staff. Now, once you get to tier 3 of this staff, and say you wanted to go be a higher end pyromancer, it's going to tell you kill creatures tier 3 or higher using a journeyman's fire staff. A journeyman is tier 3. So if you do not end up crafting or buying a tier 3 staff, you will not get points into this, fame into this. So as one thing unlocks for the next, you need to be reading the requirements to make sure you get to the next point. Oh, here's another guy up here. We'll help this dude. We'll help this poacher. He's a tier 2 poacher. Okay, so we killed him. Now if we go... Oh, he dropped silver. So the NPCs that are not wildlife are going to drop silver for you guys. I have 0 silver on this character. If I go, now I have 40 silver. So farming silver is from the non-wildlife. Wildlife will let you farm hide and different variations of leather. 80 more fame. We go and check our destiny board, and you can see we are now leveled up to 300. So that is how this overall destiny board works. You figure out what you want to do, and then you read the requirements, and then you go out and you farm and you kill things, and you harvest things until you hit the next step. That is the trainer fighter side. So this is the side that allows you to wear gear. The crafter side, this is the side that's going to allow you to craft things and refine things. The harvester side, this is going to allow you to harvest. And the farming side, this is going to allow you to farm things. You can craft potions, cook food, and grow and farm animals and mounts. Dire bears and dire boars and really cool things. So that is how the overall destiny board works, which is probably one of the most complex but also coolest things about this game. If you hit I, you're also going to have room for a mount. If you did buy one of the founders pack that allows you to get a mount, you can put it here. You're going to have a backpack slot, which is a novice item, and a cape, as well as a food and a potion slot. Those are kind of slightly more advanced things that you'll end up getting one way or another, either crafting them for yourself or buying them. If you go to up here, it'll show you what premium status is. Premium is going to give you 20 learning points per day. 50% destiny board fame, so every time you get a kill you get 50% more fame, 50% more silver and loot, 50% more gathering yield. You also get 150 crafting focus per day. You get double crop yield from farming. You get double animal growth rate and half tax. And then after 30 days of having it up, it looks like you get 300 learning points and 3825 crafting focus. Now I'm assuming this is a one-time thing. I don't know if that's per day. I'm not actually sure because this is actually pretty new. You can always buy premium with gold, which either comes with your account or you can buy from Albion, or you can buy premium with silver. As you just saw, I farmed 40 silver from the very first mob and 32 silver from the second mob. I can farm my way up to buy premium with silver. This number does go in flux, but it is pretty easy to hit if you do spend a couple days playing the game. Now, one thing to note on the Destiny board is there is going to be different tiers per thing that you unlock. So after you go from the T3 Journeyman area, you can see on the side there's no tiers. You're going to go up and it's going to split out extremely fast. Say we go to Pyromancer. This is a tier 4 staff once you unlock it. Once you unlock this, you're going to also unlock the tier 2 mastery level tier, which once you finish this, you get a tier 5 staff. Then you're going to go to tier 3 and you're going to get a tier 6 staff. Tier 4, a tier 7 staff. Tier 8, a tier 7 or tier 8 staff, or an expert tier 5 staff. Tier 6, you're going to get a tier 6 master enchanted tier 6 staff. It keeps raising up the higher you go up. At the same time, you're going to be able to go and learn this staff, the Great Pyromancer staff, which is a two-handed staff. It is a tier 4.2. So you can either go from this staff to the second mastery and get tier 5, or you can go from this staff to the two-handed staff and go 4.2. Now, once you learn this, boys, we're gonna die. We died. Alright, this is actually not bad. When you die in the game to mobs, if they are not a lethal mob, they're going to knock you out. As you can see, you were knocked out by a heretic poacher. If they're a lethal mob, they're going to kill you and take all of your stuff. Not take it, it's going to be on your dead body. But if you die to a non-lethal mob, it is going to knock you out. If you click die, all your gear is on your body and you spawn somewhere else. So you want to wait for get up. You don't want to click die. So let's wait for that and get out of the aggressive area. Get up! Now, as I did die, I dropped some of my silver. When you do die, you will drop some of your silver, and you will potentially lose some of your materials in your inventory as you die. We are in a green area, though. If you hit K on your map, these are a green area. This is a friendly area. Players cannot attack you. Generally, the mobs are not lethal. People cannot loot you. Green is friendly. Now, if you go over to the yellow area has what is called PvP, flagging PvP. You can kill people in the yellow area. To do so, you have to hostile up and become flagged or aggressive. And when you become a hostile, you can then fight anybody in the area. If someone's there, flagged or not, you can fight them. When you kill them, you will get some of their silver to drop, but none of their gear will drop. Some of their resources will also be deleted in their inventory. If you are not flagged, you can fight anyone that is flagged. So if you never flag, you will never have to worry about non-flags killing you. And if you are never flagged, you're going to have to defend yourself against people that are flagged. If you flag, you can fight anyone, flagged or non-flagged people. Again, you will drop some silver, but you will not drop your gear. This borders yellow and red. The second you go in red, you still have the whole flagging process. You have non-flagged versus flagged people. You can't attack people that are not flagged if you're not flagged. But you will drop all your gear. Red is now lethal. If you die by a person in red, you will drop all your gear. So no PvP in green. PvP, but you don't drop your gear in yellow. PvP, but you drop your gear in red. The second you leave red and go up to black, there is no flagging. Everyone is immediately flagged. And when you die by a person, you get all of they're going to get all of your gear. So there are safe zones. There is a entry tier of yellow into PvP. There is a harder tier of red PvP. And then there's the hardest tier. Now, not only does this advance in the game's dynamics of PvP, but it also advances in the game's dynamic of monsters and harvesting. If you ever click on the title of a zone, you're going to get some information about it. Not only are you going to get the on-screen map, where you can see dungeons and quests and roads and exits, but you're going to get some on-screen information. This place has tier 2 through tier 3 lumber, stone, hide, cotton, and iron. So if you need tier 2 through tier 3 stuff, you're going to want to look and see that you can gather it here. If you need tier 5 stuff, this place will give you nothing. So once you get past tier 3 stuff, you might have to go into the yellow PvP zone. If we click here, we'll see that you now get tier 3 through 5 stuff. So getting 4 and 5 quality materials, you're going to have to adventure into the next area. If you need higher materials, well, here we go. Tier 4 through tier 6 is now in the red PvP. And if you need really high materials, tier 5 through tier 7 is now in the black PvP. So gathering these materials are going to get risky. You might need guilds to do it. You might need to be a stealth person like I have on my gear. So if someone comes to fight you, you can stealth and get out. You might want to just go and get a couple materials and run back. You might want to go out with your whole guild and get materials. But you're going to have to advance into riskier and riskier areas. The whole concept is risk versus reward. If you risk nothing in the safe areas, your reward is going to be minimal. If you risk a lot in the high areas, your reward are very high materials. Again, you will need to have completed parts of your destiny board before you can get them. If we go down to the axe, you might have to complete up to here to be able to use a Grandmaster's axe, which will allow you to get T7 resources. This is going to be very like later in the game. In this game, you can do everything. You can be the best harvester in the game, the best crafter in the game, the best fighter in the game, the best refiner in the game. The thing is, you need to do a lot. That's going to take so much to do it all. So most people kind of pick, I want to be staffs, so I will craft staffs only. The rest I'll buy. And then they craft themselves staffs. Some people don't do crafting at all. Some people only do harvesting and killing because they kind of go hand in hand. As you go out to farm monsters, you can also harvest the materials. They bring them back for their crafters in their guild. Some people only do harvesting. You can pick and choose what you want and what you like. It's really cool how they implement the desire to have crafters in the game, or the desire to do different things. It's really up to you. You not only customize what you wear and what you do, but you know what you become proficient in. It is a very, very cool concept. One of the other major parts of this game is the overall ability to access a private island. Let's go ahead and go wander up to talk about that. Before we do talk about that on our nice trip, we'll talk about the dungeons a little bit. There are multiple dungeons in this game. There are dungeons that are fit for solo players. There are dungeons that are fit for groups between 3 and 5 people, or if you're kind of like lower level, maybe say 6 to 8 people. And there are groups that are fit between 10 to 12. There are dungeons that are fit for groups between 10 to 12. Depending on what dungeon you go to, it may be a non-lethal dungeon, which means if the mobs kill you, though, they won't lethal you. Those are generally solo dungeons. So if you hit K on your map, any dungeon you see with a green entrance is, if you click on it, suitable for a single adventurer and it is not lethal. Any dungeon you see with yellow is generally 3 to 5 adventurers and they are lethal. So if these mobs kill you in here, you will drop your gear. And then if you go and find a red dungeon, it's going to be an epic dungeon of 10 to 12 adventures, and they are lethal as well. So there are dungeons you could go in, and in the dungeons there's going to be bosses. There will be mini bosses and final bosses. There'll be groups of mobs. You might want to take someone in there as you learn what's going on. But they're great places to go to farm silver and fame, and also some of the higher end crafting materials that you may need to craft some of the other gear down the road. So that's what there is for dungeons. There's also mobs out in the open world. You can kill wildlife, or you can... Here, let's kill this fox. You can kill wildlife, or you can go find NPCs to kill and get silver. As you're wandering around, I'm trying to go travel right now up to Kingspool. And as I travel, maybe I want to get some birch logs on the way. Or maybe I want to farm some foxhide. There's 15 on that one. That's a lot of foxhide. But as you kind of go out and adventure, you can gather things, you can kill things, you can get fame, you can kind of make your own, make your own path as you go. We're gonna go ahead and hit K again. We're right here. We're gonna have to follow this road to go up into Kingspool. All right. Once we get through this map, by following this road, we'll be in Kingspool. As you see on the map here, there is a dungeon right in the middle. If you hit K, you see it, and if you hit M, you see it there. Dungeon right in the middle. We do have cooldowns in this game, so we're waiting for the cooldown. Okay, here's a tree we haven't actually seen yet. Let's see if we can harvest it. Needs novice axe or better. I can't harvest this tree. It's because my pickaxe, or excuse me, my wood axe is only a beginner's. I need to actually get novice axe. So if I go down here, novice tools usable, novice axe is right here. I need 1,200, almost 1,200 more fame worth of harvesting things like birch trees before I can even wear the novice axe to harvest this chestnut tree. So you're gonna run into things that you just can't harvest even if you wanted to until you work up that to the highest level or a higher level. So as you explore around, you might want that, or you might want the gear that needs. And then you'll be like, oh, well, I need T3 logs. Well, how can you harvest them? You got to go work up the lower levels before you get to it. Now, as a hunter, I can shoot this. And then now I have a slight speed boost. That's one cool thing about their W spell. If your flea is on cooldown, you can use the wildlife to shoot like this rabbit and get a speed boost. Traveling without a mount isn't that bad on hunters. Other classes get blinks and leaps and things like that too. But this is kind of one of the hunter's things. You cannot leave while in combat. Well, get out of combat. Alright. Here we go. We are in one of the main towns. This town is called King's Pool. We are in King's Pool. Now, what you'll notice is on the side, it'll tell you how many friendlies are here. And as you can see, there's a bunch of people. If you do hit M, you'll be able to zoom in and see there's a chest in the middle. If we go in this chest, we notice that we'll have nothing. Now, this is a big point to tell you. This bank is a local bank. Remember the bank we saw at the beginning? If I put something in that, it would not be in this bank. Every bank is local. They're not connected. Lots of MMOs will allow you to go to across the world and have access to the same stuff. That's not super realistic, and one part about this game is the localized aspect of it. Most people kind of huddle in a similar area so they can access their consistent bank. If you go across the world, you will not have, if I put this in here, you will not have this if you go into any other bank in the game. This is only accessible through here. So you might want to like find a location that you're comfortable with and kind of work out of it if you want to get continuous access to your bank. If we hit M, other places that we see is a marketplace. We can go up to the marketplace and see the offers. We can choose our category, say armor. Say we don't want to make tier 3 armor. We don't want to be a crafter. We go tier 3 and we type in medium. And here we go. Here's tier 3 medium armor for 249 silver. Well, if I got to be able to wear tier 3 armor and I didn't want to craft it, I could just buy it from the market house. As well as consumables. Not named medium. Consumables, and you can buy mounts, and you can buy, I don't know, seeds and furniture. You can buy lots of things from the marketplace, so you never have to craft in this game. If you go and farm silver, you'll never have to craft unless something isn't there's not a crafter available for what you want. You may want to go travel to different areas. Now, of course, you can do that by running. One nice thing is the main cities do have fast travel. You can go talk to this dude. He's called the travel planner, and he'll let you fast travel to other places. He will charge you a fee, though, depending on how much loot you have on you at that time. The more loot, the higher the fee. We do know that we only have 79 silver, so we probably want to be careful of traveling. If you hit M, you're going to see plots of stuff all over the map. These are all owned by players. It looks like the owner is Smarty, or the owner's Monster. These are owned by players, and they're going to have their own usage fee. And to be able to use them, you might have to pay something. This is kind of a part of the way that the game works. In the main cities, you can buy the plots, you can sell the plots. It's just like real estate, and then you can develop different crafting stations and different usable tool stations. But you also can charge a fee, so you might want to do some shopping around at what's going to have a low fee. This is a T3 one with only 10% of a fee. This one has 50% of a fee. This one has 225% of a fee. So if you don't need tier 4, maybe you'll go down here if you only need tier 3. Let's see, what else do we have? Over here, it looks like we have a repair bench. If we click on it, it says repair station. If we go talk to the repair station, we can repair our gear here. You drag it over and hit repair. It's going to cost 8 silver to repair this. Damn, we don't have much. But we just repaired it. White means it's fully repaired, 100 out of 100 durability. Green means it's lower than 100 but higher than, I believe, 50. Yellow means it's below 50. Red means it's almost broken, and once it breaks, it's going to turn to trash. So you want to make sure you repair your gear. Not only do you have a chance to lose your gear, but as your gear degrades, your damage, your resistances, and your health that you earn from your gear is also going to degrade. As well as repairing, you could salvage. Now, I do have that old T1 gear that I don't need. We can salvage it and return some of the materials. So if you are a crafter, this is very beneficial. With salvage, we also have reforge. So remember those spells that we put on? We can put our gear here and we can change those spells to something else if we don't want them. We also have reroll. Every item has, if you scroll down, a quality. Now this scroll is semi-bugged. If we go to a different one, it's easier to. It has a quality. It goes normal, excellent, masterpiece. Actually, I always forget. Let me go check. If you go, this is a very easy way to check. If you go to the marketplace and go to armor, it'll tell you the quality. Normal, excellent, masterpiece, epic, legendary. So everything has an overall quality and you can potentially roll that quality up. So this is a very min-maxing thing, but you can re-roll your armor. This armor is a normal quality. We can re-roll for 18 silver. But, it didn't work. We have to, it's just dumb chance, you guys. You can potentially roll it up to legendary. It'll give you more resistances and more HP. Let's see, what else do we have on this map? So we went over the stations, we went over the marketplace, we went over the localized banks and the repair stations. Let's also see this guy. Now this dude is really cool. He's called the Island Merchant, and what he's going to do is allow you to buy your own island. Not only your own island, but a guild island, and maybe down the line other islands, but he's going to let you buy your own island. Are you looking for affordable land? Consider buying one of our beautiful spacious islands. There are no taxes out there, so upkeep is free. We need 1,450 silver. I don't have 1,450 silver, but I did buy a pretty premium legendary pack that gave me a lot of gold. Well, one aspect you could do is go to the gold market. At the bottom, go to buy, sell, and if we want to sell gold, we can sell 10 gold. And it looks like the average price of gold per silver is 64. We could sell 10 gold for 640 silver. We needed like 1,500. Let's sell 100 gold. 6,000 silver. Maybe 50 gold. 3,200. All right, let's sell 50 gold. We're selling 50 gold for 3,000 silver. Thank you for that. We now check. We're 50 less gold and 3,000 silver richer. We can go here and buy an island if we had premium. Now, it doesn't look like we have premium. If you buy an account with premium, you're going to have premium for a certain amount of time. This character is not my first character, so he doesn't have premium. Well, let's go buy premium. If you go to premium status, as I said, you can buy with gold. With 2,500 gold, let's go ahead and buy. Yes. 30 days of premium. Now my character has 30 days of premium. Our gold has dropped quite a bit. We just got 3,825 crafting focus and a bonus 300 learning points. That's pretty nice. Let's talk to him again. Yes, we can buy our island now. Let's pay for our island. Your island lies just off King's Pool. We can also upgrade our island. If we upgrade our island to level 1 out of 6, we'll get a farming plot, a building plot, and 2 small building plots. If you ever want to go to your island, you go to the travel planner, and you can travel to your personal island. Traveling to your island will be free from the place you bought it from, but if you do go to other areas, you will have to pay a travel fee. Now, this is our cool island. This is one of the cool aspects in the game, is you can have your own private island that only the people you want can come to it. You can go to this board and you can only invite the people you want or have them be owners or builders. You and your friend or you and your girlfriend or you and your boyfriend can work on your private island and upgrade it and build things on it. If we do hit M, we'll see that there's a building slot right here. And if we hit B, we can say maybe we want a lumber mill here. Or maybe we want to go do some housing. Let's find houses. Maybe we want to build a novice house. Now, if we were a legendary account, we could build a legendary explorer shelter, or we could just build a novice house. Okay, it takes 50 silver to place. That's fine. We'll place that. If we click on it, it'll tell what we need to upgrade. We need 90 tier 1 wood, 90 tier 1 stone, 90 tier 2 refined logs, and 90 tier 2 stone. So as we go around our island and start collecting some of our rough logs, we'll be able to come back to this one and we'll be able to start putting in some of our rough logs. We could start building our own island. Now on your island you can make farms. You can make stables for growing horses. You could farm food to eat. You can farm chickens and raise chickens and calves and geese and gooses and all those good things. Private islands are really, really cool. You could also put more storage space and other fun things in them. Now, that is a lot of the basics about the game. Now, I know that was a lot to go over, and I thank you guys all for sitting and getting this far and listening to it. You could always go back and watch it again, but I just wanted to go through the very starting basics. This game has way more to offer. There is territory fights. So in a lot of these zones, you'll see these things. You can claim these. You can build on them. You could siege other people from them and have territory fights. There is instance PvP dungeons that you can go into. There is like high-end exploring and crafting. There's so much more you could do, but that's just a very start of it. To end the beginner's tutorial or the basics about the game, we're going to go ahead and show you what you can do to get into the game right now. There will be a link below this highlight with a referral link to Albion Online where you can purchase the Founders Packs. The game is currently in closed beta. The closed beta did start on November 23rd, and it will go for approximately 3 months. So January 23rd it will close. There is 3 different Founders Packs you can buy. Legendary for 100, Epic for 50, or Veteran for 30. Each Founder Pack is going to give you different things. Closed beta access, well, Legendary allowed you to get in early, but as of today, any of them will instantly get you into the closed beta access. Gold, each one is going to give you different gold. If you buy Legendary, you'll get a $50 value of 12,000 gold. Epic will be a $20 value of 4,500, and Veterans will be a $10 value of 2,000. Premium status, Legendary will give you 90 days, the entire closed beta. Epic will give you 60, 2/3 of it, and Veteran will give you 30, a third of it. You'll get a Founder's Certificate, which you could put inside your house. You'll get different name tags. The Epic one or the Legendary one will give you a Gold Founder. The Epic one will give you a silver name tag, and Veterans will not give you anything. You'll get avatar and rings. Again, gold for the Legendary, silver for the Epic, and nothing for the Veteran. You're going to be able to get Explorer's equipment, Legendary versus Epic, and again, nothing. The Explorer's Looking Glass, both Legendary and Epic get it. This gives you a buff every hour for some extra HP and movement speed. This is really good. You get an Explorer's House, again for Legendary only, an Explorer's Horse, Ox, and Statue. These are very, very beneficial. Not the statue, it just looks cool. But these are very beneficial, specifically the Ox and the Horse. If you can afford it, it supports the game, it supports them. If you use a referral link, it supports me. The Legendary is what I got and what I say if you can afford it, go for. If you can't, maybe the Epic's better, or if you at least just want to play, the Veteran's really good. But that is how you're able to purchase this game. Now, once you use all your gold and you lose your mounts and all those different things during closed beta, at the end of closed beta, the game will go potentially to either open beta or launch, and you'll get all of this back. Once the game finalizes on launch, you'll have all of this back again. You'll have all of your gold back, and you won't have to worry about that. You won't lose it because you used it during the beta. Again, that is Albion Online, the basics of how to start the game and the basic concepts of the game. Thank you guys for sticking by and checking it out. We are a Twitch live streamer here at twitch.tv/typeForced. Feel free to come check out our live streams where we will be streaming Albion and other games. Thanks, guys. Oh.